you're gonna shoot me, shoot me. If not, I'm going to bury you. Jesse!
Damn. Come on, detective.
Come on, Jesse. You know how this works. If we're going to tell Jamaican stories, we want Jamaican writers, we want Jamaican producers, we need Jamaican showrunners.
You are Jamaican. I'm sure everybody figured by now that you're Jamaican.
Yes.
Because we hear the word Jamaica for about 100 times already.
Yes.
and that's cool. What part of Jamaica?
Your parents are Jamaican and you were born in Jamaica.
I was. We'll just do it like this. Hi, nice to meet you. Thanks for having me.
Welcome to the Entertainment Beat, the hottest Caribbean show on the planet. Told you every week, you must believe by now, we always have some of the best guests right here with us. Now, this evening, we have with us one of the top actresses here in Hollywood with their Caribbean roots. We're going to tell you all about that. Today we have Sardia Robinson, actor, writer, comedian, and also the co-creator of Jamaicans in Hollywood and the award-winning one-woman show called From Yardie to Yankee. Sardia, welcome to the Entertainment Beat. Good to have you out here. We've been trying to get you for a long time. We've been so busy. What's going on?
I'm excited to be here.
Yeah?
Yeah. When I get that phone call, I'm like, what? I just dropped everything.
Awesome.
Yeah, I was like, I'm there.
Thank you, see? That's what we're talking about. This is a place to be.
Yes.
This is a very interesting topic that we want to talk about today. This is Jamaicans in Hollywood.
Yes.
You're the co-creator for that.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
It's a long story, so I'm going to make it short. For a long while now, a lot of my Jamaican friends, actors, and comedians have always been complaining about not seeing themselves on TV. Or when we do see any shows that have a Jamaican on it, they're usually not Jamaicans, they're just speaking with the accent. Or when we go and audition for the shows, they say they want Jamaican actors, and when we go, we end up seeing an American playing Jamaican with a bad Jamaican accent. So it's a complaint all the time, complaint. So one day I decided, you know what? Why not stop complaining and then create the movement, come together, like, because everybody else is doing it, yes. Right? So I decided to call my friends and change the narrative of how we see ourselves on TV, right? I think it's also Jamaicans. Over the past years, when you watch Jamaican movies, it's always the bad boy, the dancehall girl, the gunshot, the mafia.
Yeah.
And in Jamaica, it's such a rich culture and such rich stories. So there are stories that need to be told, and from an authentic, organic place. And the people who need to tell those stories are us.
I'm with you on that 100%. Because, when you watch a lot of the movies, sometimes when you see like a Caribbean person or a Jamaican get a role, it's usually portraying some negative
Exactly.
thing. So I'm with you on
Yes,
that.
exactly.
So with this kind of movement now, what about a Jamaican like me in Hollywood, if I want to be a part of it, or any other Jamaican who might see this and wants to be a part of it? Is there some kind of qualification? You have to be an actor, an actress?
No, not at all.
How can you join the movement?
We invite everyone in the industry. So you could be in costume designing, you could be makeup artists, producers, showrunners. As long as you are a Jamaican background and in the industry, yes, you can come along and join us. Because if we're going to tell Jamaican stories, we want Jamaican writers, we want Jamaican producers, we need Jamaican showrunners, because we are the only one that can tell the story from an organic place.
Oh, I love that. And you're also a comedian.
Yes.
How do you balance that, the comedy and acting? And I mean, do you do like some comedy shows here and there, and then?
Well, once in a while, someone will call me and say, hey, can you open up my show for me? I'm not too into the comedy right now because I'm focusing on writing. I'm writing again back to the Jamaican stories. So that's where I'm at. And as a writer, you can't spend too much time running around at night trying to get on 5 minutes on a set, So I try to stay home. But yeah, usually back in the days, I used to do a lot of comedy. Run around from the comedy club to the improv, the Second City,
I love that. So one thing I want you to tell everybody here, because you're creating. A lot of these people probably have seen you on TV before. I've never seen you on the entertainment beat, but right here on the entertainment beat now. But I have a quick question for you. Tell us about the Yardie to Yankee. What inspired that Yardie to Yankee?
It goes back again when, as an artist, as an actress, I wasn't getting the work. I was just sitting around waiting for the phone to ring, from my manager to my agent, and I decided, you know what, why don't I create my own content? Because that's what we need to do, right? We need to create our own content. And I have a rich story, and we all have stories, and I think my story need to be told. So I wrote my story about my journey from Jamaica to America, and it just took a life of its own. It just went off. I won an award for it. I took it all over the world, traveled with it, and now we just finished the screenplay of it.
You are Jamaican. I'm sure everybody figured by now that you're Jamaican.
Yes.
Because we hear the word Jamaica for about 100 times already.
Yes.
and that's cool. What part of Jamaica?
I was born in St. Thomas in the Hilltop, and then I went to Kingston when I was 10 years old and lived in Waterhouse.
Yeah. So if someone
in
hears
the ghetto.
Yeah. So if someone sees you and hear you accent and say, "Hi, you're Jamaican," and they say, "Where you from?" You say you're from Kingston, because people.
Yeah, because if I say Stokes or St. Thomas, they have no idea where that is. In my heart, I'm from Kingston. I lived in Kingston since I was 10 years old. So I'm a Kingstonian.
Oh, here we go. She's a Kingstonian. I want people to understand, the way that people were brought up in Jamaica and in the Caribbean on a whole. How does that lifestyle and what you learn in Jamaica, and how your parents brought you up, help you in the industry today? In terms of your work ethics, how does your Jamaican upbringing help you with what you're doing now?
Oh, good question. I was raised with my grandmother because my mom left when I was 10 to move to the USA. My dad left when I was 2 and moved to Canada. So my grandmother is like the driving force behind me. And with every Jamaican mothers, they're hard workers, and they don't care if you have a headache or you have no food to eat. You got to get going.
Yeah,
Things need to get done, right?
That's right?
So my grandmother was a driving force behind me, and my tenacity and my ambition came from her. So I have real strong work ethics. Everything need to get done on time. And another thing that my grandmother used to say, I don't care if you have a headache, you come home with an A on your report card.
Exactly.
That's my grandmother. Right, but she always told me to be respectful. She taught me morals. She taught me integrity. And that's why I'm never late anywhere I go. You have to be professional and be on time. But when I came to America, I got spoiled.
Oh, so you start showing up late.
Yes. Because everybody else was doing it, right?
Yeah.
But then I was like, okay, this is not professional now. So I need to go back to my roots. Because sometimes you leave Jamaica or you leave where you come from and you started to assimilate because other people are doing it. So you figure, oh, I should just do it that way.
Yeah, well, you say you used from Yardie to
Yeah,
Yankee.
right,
So,
So
there goes your story.
I became a Yankee.
There goes the story. There goes the story. Are you currently working on anything? Any new projects?
I'm currently working on a project which I just signed an NDA on, so I can't mention it. And we start shooting next week. So I'm excited about that. Yeah, and I get to be myself. I get to sound the way I sound. I don't have to actually try to sound American. And I love those roles where they just be you.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Would you say it's very, I know you explained some of it, that's why you want to start the whole movement, but I just want to just go back to it real quick. Would you say it's very difficult as a Caribbean person or as a Jamaican to pick up the roles? How difficult is it? Is it extremely difficult? Like when you go to audition for a role, and if they need a Caribbean person, someone with a Jamaican accent, you say sometimes they have other people playing that role using that accent, but on a scale of 1 to 10, how difficult is it? I
think, just to give Hollywood credit right now, I think they're actually coming outside the box. They used to be inside the box, right? So I think people are now paying attention to diversity. right? So it's different. We need to hear that when you're watching TV, and if you're not paying attention, it's on, and then all of a sudden you hear someone with an accent, you tend to look up, right? Because it's fresh, it's just welcoming. So I think that they're more open to that. The reason why we start the movement now is to push it further, because the only time they can see us is when we're in those roles where we're the bad Jamaican, the gangster, but they can't think that we can be doctors or lawyers or scientists because we have an accent. Oh, that. So, and we can't expect them to give it to us because they're not writing it. That's why we have to write it.
Awesome.
So that's why we're writing and creating our own content with good, solid stories. And great, with great actors.
And for the people watching, and you're probably watching over there in Trinidad, or you're watching over there somewhere in the Caribbean, not because it's Jamaicans in Hollywood. If you're Trini and you're in the industry, you can be a part of the movement, right or wrong?
Wrong.
I was trying to bring the Trinis on board too, but maybe Sardia, you can explain that.
Let me explain that. Okay, so the Africans start the movement, right? Number one show right now on Netflix is an African show, Queen Sona, which is beautifully well done, well written story. They start their own movement. The African Americans start their own movement, right? When they say they want more African American on TV, they're not talking about me. They're talking about someone who's born right here in this country. Yeah. Just because we're dark, I have the same complexion. The moment I open my mouth, they're like, no, you're not African American. So they're not writing anything for me. Yeah. Now, the reason why I said we all have to start our own movement, later on we can all come together as one, right? But right now I want to focus on the Jamaicans, because we're the ones whose stories are being told in a different light. They see us differently, right? And I love my Trinidadians, because I have a lot of Trinidadian friends, right? And they want to join the movement. And I said, no, start your own, and then we can come together, right? Because when I write, I don't know the culture, so I can't write from that culture. I can only write from my culture, and I cannot hire a Trinidadian to play a Jamaican. We don't have the same accent.
Fantastic.
White people think we do, but we don't.
No, we definitely don't.
We definitely don't.
All islands sound different.
Exactly.
Tell us about some of the roles you've played on screen.
I play a cop. The last movie I did, I was the captain of a ship. It was a sci-fi movie. I also play a drug addict. And I think I played a nurse. Yeah.
Which of those roles you would say, was your favorite to play?
I like playing the cop.
Yeah.
And she was a dirty cop.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like playing those roles. Because you really get to dissect into the mindset of someone who's supposed to be on the good side, and then they switch to the bad side. You get into that frame of mind and how you get from point A to point B.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And I thought you were going to say, something else.
No. I like playing the roles that challenge me as a person, right? Because I'm not a cop, and so.
And you're not a drug addict.
And I'm not a drug addict, so you have to get into that. Yeah. Like you got to get into that mind frame to sell it. Because if I become that, then you, the viewer, can buy it. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
That I am a drug addict.
Excellent. Sardia has such an interesting story to tell. And you want to know more about her, because I know she has a lot of things to do. We're not going to keep her here all day because she has...
No, I want to stay though.
You want to stay all day? Yeah. Tell the people watching where they can find your the stuff that you're writing. And
they can find me on Instagram, IG. We have a Jamaican in Hollywood Instagram page. That's the name, Jamaicans in Hollywood. And then you can find me, Sardia, on Instagram as well, under Adras, which is Sardia spelled backwards, AIDRAS. I'm so creative.
So creative.
And we're also on Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter.
So you're on all...
We have all social media.
You're all over the place.
All over the place.
Yes, that's right.
Yes.
So If you need to find her, you know where to find her. Sardia,
Yes.
so tell us, when can we get a chance to see the From a Yardie to a Yankee play?
My next performance is in Beverly Hills at the Michael Wilson Studio, produced by the Jamaican Awareness Association, and all the money goes to their charity.
Are you thinking about taking this play to Jamaica so they can watch it over there too?
I already did at the Edna Manley Performing Arts Center.
Oh, fantastic.
And it's very hard performing for your own people because they
Just
will,
imagine.
yes, but they loved it.
Yeah.
They loved it.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that
I
was
love
it,
it.
yeah.
Explain to the viewers who are watching that, who might not know, they probably just turn on the TV and here we are talking about From a Yardie to a Yankee. What's the difference? What's the definition? What's your definition of Yardie and what's your definition of a Yankee?
Okay, so whenever I go back home to Jamaica, as soon as I get off the plane at the airport, somebody will say to me, Yankee girl, come over here, let me take your suitcase, right?
Yeah.
And I have to say to them, and they're moving my suitcase along, and I'm like, no, and I'm trying to speak in nice and calm, and then they go, oh, Yari. So that was where I came up with the old Yankee to a Yardie. But when I was in Jamaica, Yardie is actually originated from, it's an Irish word. It started in, the gangsters in Ireland used to use the word Yardie because they're Yardie group of friends. And then Jamaican took it over, the Jamaican gangsters in Jamaica, in London took it over and started calling themselves the Yardie gang. When you look it up, according to the dictionary, it's a group of people who live in Jamaica in the back of the yard.
Yeah.
And they call themselves Yardie. And if you speak with a Jamaican accent and someone detect that, if you're somewhere in Bakersfield, California, and they say, oh, yeah, Yardie. So we identify ourselves as a Yardie, right? When I became citizen of the United States, my mom started to call me a Yankee girl. So that's how the whole thing came up.
I used to think that, because you're a Yankee, it's generally speaking that, you're the America.
Exactly.
The America.
Yeah.
For some people who don't understand, probably think you're from New York because the New York have the Yankees. So there you go. Americans, from you move from Jamaica, come a foreign, you're a Yankee. You go back to Jamaica, he's a Yardie. And that situation actually happened to me before in Barbados when I came out and this man just took my bag and just put it in a bus. And I said, bring back my bag, what you do? He said, oh, you're a Yardie boy.
Exactly.
Exactly. So,
Yeah, but don't get it twisted. Just because I'm American now and live in the USA with an American citizenship, I'm a Yardie, true Yardie.
True Yardie?
Yes, I love my country.
What's your favorite thing to cook? Jamaican food.
Ackee and saltfish.
Everybody can cook that. Come again.
I can throw down some oxtail. Nobody cook oxtail like me, not even Wendy.
All right, we'll come in. So you're inviting us for this summer. We're going to your house for you to throw down some real oxtail.
Yes.
And some rice and peas.
Yes.
You grated the coconut or you use the coconut milk?
I used to grate it when I was a kid, and then it would mess up all my fingers because I would, So now I just go get the ones in the can because I'm a Yankee girl.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yes.
Yankee rice and peas.
Rice and beans.
I love it. Sardia, thank you for telling us about these interesting things that are happening in Hollywood. We love that you've started the movement. I have some Trini friends that's probably going to say, if I can convince her to make sure so, they can come on board. But as you hear it,
You know what I can do with the Trinis? I can actually meet with the Trinis and tell them how to start the movement.
Okay, there you go. So there you go. So we were not leaving out you, but there's always room. Thank you once again, Sardia. Is there anything that you would like to tell the world watching you right now that I didn't ask you today? This is the time.
I think you asked the right questions, and I appreciate that. But I would advise all the viewers who are watching to just create your own content. Don't sit and wait for anyone to give you a job because you're not going to get it.
There you go. Don't wait for the door to knock. You go knock the door.
Build your own table.
Sardia, thank you. Thank you for coming through. We're glad to have you, man. And we're looking forward to your next play. And go check out the clip for Yardie to Yankee. It's on YouTube. See what it's all about. All right? Blessings. Thank you so much for watching the Entertainment Beat. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back. Right, yes, sir. Coming up next, Beat Start Time right here on the Entertainment Beat. Keep watching. Don't stop. You heard?
Welcome to the 8th annual Caribbean Heritage Salute to Hollywood and Excellence Gala. We are joined by the, oh my goodness, so fabulous. So, you know what? If you're looking at her, I mean, look at this tiny woman, but such a powerhouse in Hollywood, a powerhouse. That's right. In fact, that's why she's here today. She's being honored. Congratulations, Val Boland, on your fabulous Luminary, am I correct? Luminary Award from the Caribbean.
As you can tell, I'm illuminating as we speak.
Val, we are so proud of you. Really, congratulations on behalf of Mikey TV, Caribbean Network. How important is this award for you to be honored by your Caribbean people?
It's very important. You know, we live in the United States, which is a melting pot of different heritages. To be one of the honorees takes it to another level. And I will say, even more important than to me, it's to my parents who are here tonight, who grew up in Jamaica. So for them, this means the world. All my accomplishments are nothing compared to tonight, so it's great.
Your parents are Jamaican and you were born in Jamaica as well.
I was. I don't remember because I was a baby when they left to move to New York, but we've been back many times, and you know, the culture is so a part of me and my upbringing, so yes.
Val, so sorry. Is that short for Valerie, by the way?
It's actually short for Valenie.
Wow, Valenie.
Another thing my parents blessed me with was a name that everyone would get wrong, so it's okay.
Valenie, so that's Valenie, but we'll just say Val.
Yes.
So I would just love for you to share with all of us one really special, I mean, something that your Caribbean roots parents, your Caribbean parents that taught you, that probably no one else would have been taught because they didn't have Caribbean parents. One thing that they taught you that made you into the success that you are this evening.
Wow. That is a tough question. When you first started asking the question, I was going to say they taught me how to eat a mango, right? That's what I take away, because I still to the day eat a mango exactly the way they taught me to eat it. So
wait, I hope it's everything running down here.
yes, you have to you do it alone so no one sees you, so everything could be dripping, and you suck the seed dry. And yes. So that is culturally the most important thing they taught me. But you know, in terms of my profession, I don't know if this is a Caribbean thing or not, but it's just, you know, a very disciplined upbringing, you know, not doing what you're expected to do more, you know, and always impress and always work hard, and the rewards will come, and it's paid off.
You have been a powerhouse. You are a powerhouse. You have led Lifetime and Comedy Central and all of these to a level that they've never been even before you arrived at these different organizations.
Yes.
What would you attribute, what is that one success? And maybe it just probably wouldn't be one, but what would you attribute to that success that you have when you join these organizations?
I think it's easy question, actually. Passion. You know, I've been passionate about television since I was a child. Sometimes I say it was my babysitter, but I don't think my parents would like for me to say that, but it was. My dad watched morning cartoons with me every Saturday. Don't tell him I said this, he used to watch soap operas. He did. All my children. He can tell you. But, you know, TV was always a part of my life. I remember, you know, as a child, looking at the TV guide you used to get and deciding what shows I was going to watch. And I remember, you know, watching, you know, sporting events and you know, royal weddings and car chases, you know, on TV, and it was always a big part of what I wanted to do. So for me, I'm in a career that I've kind of prepared for my entire life, and it's not work, it's fun. So I think the passion I have has made it much easier for me to feel successful. Whether I'm successful or not is for others to judge. I feel professionally successful and satisfied with my career because I'm doing exactly what I want to do, and I'm having a good time doing it. Yes.
Oh my goodness, Val, well done. Just one more. I really have to ask you this because I'm not sure, but are you in a world that's dominated by men only? I'm not too sure. How has that journey been for you? Because again, you'll take some time and look at her bio. She's good. I love it. I am seriously so proud. How has this journey been for you in a world that would be probably considered to be male? Has it all been just smiles? How has this journey been for you?
If it wasn't challenging, I'd be lying, you know? You really can't appreciate the good times unless you have bad times, because then how would you know? So it has been a struggle. You know, I think as a woman in this industry, I was fortunate starting out at Lifetime, which was television for women. So, you know, all the executives around me were female, and I didn't know any different, you know. They're very always supportive of a female, promoting female executives. So that was a great foundation. And then I went to Comedy Central, which was just as supportive and diverse and wonderful. So I had two great, TV networks to work for in the beginning. And now being at Revolt, you know, a network that, you know, prides itself on the diversity of music, it's been great. So it is wonderful. I've been very lucky to work at three very distinguished organizations. Yes.
Yes, congratulations on being part of the team that actually started Revolt. Yes. Congratulations on your award this evening. Congratulations. I would just like you to leave some inspiration for the young woman, the young man that's Caribbean and, you know, probably struggling with maybe my accent or something. You just never know what, you know, struggles are. Just look into the camera and inspire them a little bit.
Sure. Well, I do not have an accent, if you can't tell. I definitely sound like a white girl from New York. Sorry, but my parents, they lost it a little bit too. But I have always said, don't let anything that seems like it might be a negative or a struggle hold you back. You know, use that to overcome and embrace and push ahead. Don't let your financial situation hold you back. Don't let anything hold you back. Don't let anyone hold you back. If there's something you want to be, do it. Be determined, do it. It might not happen right away. Don't give up. Keep going. You'll get it. You will. Yes.
Oh my goodness, I'm inspired. I am inspired just listening to her. Thank you so much again, Val Ball, and again, congratulations. Oh my goodness. Thank you, everybody. See you guys soon.
Thank you for watching the Entertainment Beat. Join us next time right here where we have some exclusive guests with Caribbean roots right here on this program. Don't go anywhere. All right? See you next time, same time. You know the time.